And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OST. But we have returned with the grand finals, the grand finale, papi, of ESL Open Cup Asia number 213. It's been a wild ride. It's been quite a tournament, but it all ends here. It all ends in a best of 5. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, representing his new team Na'Vi. It is GuMiho. We go. Again, our PvT is upon us. Our grand finals is upon us. herO, it happened off screen, unfortunately, or at least it happened over on ENew's channel, but herO was up against Dark in the semifinals. They went all the way to the ace match, and herO did take down Dark 2-1. Again, ENew was casting that over on his own Twitch channel. Meanwhile, we were busy with our own lower semifinals instead, with our own TBT, and we'll see if GuMiho can make this work, if he can go for a deep, or if he can go the distance here. herO, of course, is coming in as the best Protoss in Korea, off the back of a second place run in Masters Coliseum. If you missed out on it, check out the VODs, because Masters Coliseum was crazy, it was wild, it was an intense tournament, and herO had a very, very good showing there. Alas, can GuMiho keep up? What is GuMiho's form looking like leading into IEM? That is the question. What is he looking like? For now, Racks Expand. Economic opener out of GuMiho, going for a CC on location. Meanwhile, herO does confirm this, does spot this, does skirt around the edge of the natural base with that probe. He is hiding from the Reaper. Oh, but the Reaper does check, does come across him, and the probe is going to get shut down. herO, he sucked it in. He was trying to hide, but alas, does get caught. And with that, GuMiho can now freely move out across the map and go for a scout. So, good moves out of GuMiho. Behind this, we have a very interesting opener. Oh my god, that is a second Rax. That is a second Rax before Starport. A very aggressive build here from GuMiho, delaying his Starport, delaying any kind of drop play in favor of mass Marine or additional units, additional upgrades, additional army size here from GuMiho. So a very aggressive follow-up. This can eventually lead into a 2-base all-in with a 3-1-1 setup, with a third Rax before Starport. Doesn't have to be all-in, but it can be. As herO is in the dark, he dips in with his Adept. He does confirm at least the factory, but doesn't see much else. Meanwhile, Reapers across the map, harassing and chipping away at those probes. Looks like the Adept does get a second SCV. But have we scouted is a question. Looking at the vision here of GuMiho, he has not gone behind the mineral line, not yet. Is forced out of the main. Meanwhile, Cyclone does actually shut down that Adept as well. As the Adept does shade back home. And we are trying to hunt down that Reaper, by the way. We do try to cut it off, but no, the Reaper does barely manage to escape. Behind this, combat shields being researched. Oh my. This looks like an early tank push. Yeah, a bit of a Dolan build, actually. Bit of a Dolan build. If you remember, Dolan did a variation of this on... I almost said Moondance. Stargazers. That's it. Stargazers, last map pool. But essentially... the reason why we prioritize combat shields is because it's not about the Marines doing damage, it's about the Marines soaking damage for the tanks. Because we are building up a very early tank count. It's going to be a very committed push from GuMiho. Very committed here. Meanwhile, with the Stargate opener, Oracle does get into the natural base, does get into the main. And we do get eyes on the Marine count. Ooh, but good stutter stepping out of GuMiho. The Oracle didn't really get much. The Oracle got 1 SCV. Not worth it. Not worth it so far for herO. Thankfully, he does have a second and a would-be third Oracle. Committing quite hard here to Oracle production. Trying to catch GuMiho off guard. Does get another SCV. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 SCVs go down. GuMiho is forced back. herO is forced back. And GuMiho is still building up that tank count, and we are soon to move out. Reaper now gets eyes on the production, but we do see herO, he's doubling down on 2 bases. I do appreciate this. He recognizes, he acknowledges the power behind the build of GuMiho. Picks off 8 SCVs, and GuMiho, he pulls some of the boys. He's going for a very committed push here on 2 bases. Meanwhile, herO stayed on 2 bases, and he's working towards an Immortal. The Immortal is going to be the backbone of his army. Can herO hold as he gets more SCVs? The Oracles, they're going ham. They get so much economic damage done, but the tanks, they are within range of the wall. Gateways are going down, but the Immortal does pop out. Shield battery's focused, no overcharge, no shield battery. Gateway does fall, and the tanks, they're edging ever closer. And moving towards the army, towards the production. Boys are being pulled, this may just be too much anyway. The Adepts are falling, the Immortal doing what it can, does focus down the tanks. Both tanks fall, but there's 1 tank left. And we depower the Robo, but just barely not in time. Second Immortal does pop, but it may just not be enough. We have a Void Ray on the way, just trying to produce whatever we can. And herO, he's barely trying to hold on here, but we have lost so much. Meanwhile, 22 SCVs have gone down. Those Oracles have gone ham. GuMiho is all in. He's running out of steam. We have an overcharge. We barely have an overcharge. Good control here out of herO. Does pull back, but the Immortal goes down. The Immortal does fall. We have 1 Marine left. The tank, it gets cleaned up just barely, and herO, he holds. He's barely holding on. GuMiho running out of steam. He has stim, that is true. Barely has stim. But this is a really awkward situation. Okay, so both players have comparable economies. Oracles are coming in to harass. They force out a stim. GuMiho going for a drop towards the main. He is going for that drop. We don't have anything in position. Again, if herO hadn't come out with that second Immortal in time, then we would have seen a very different game, but we juiced him into the mineral line. Probes are being targeted down. Very good control here out of GuMiho, targeting down so many workers. He gets 7. 7 workers go down. Seven workers to fall, but we clean up the medevac. Ay, ay, ay. The Oracles, they do gain even more value here, getting a couple of SCVs. GuMiho stuck at home. But again, like, this is a really weird position because herO hasn't expanded. herO, he is still not taken a 3rd base. So 2 base versus 2 base here. I want to give the edge to herO. GuMiho ideally would like a 3rd, but he's still building up likewise on 2 bases as well. We've got bunkers, we've got tank lines. We even delay with an eBay. The 3rd finally on the way here for herO. Likewise, also on the way for GuMiho. Oracles, they dive in, they sacrifice themselves, killing 4 more workers before they get shut down. And with that, the game is in a really weird place. We're kind of settling on into this. GuMiho, he does have a 3rd base actually in line with herO, which I would give the edge to GuMiho economically, but he is pushing out. He is pushing out with a massive army. How many tanks? Look in the unit tab. 2 tanks. We have 5 Vikings, which will help with the Void Rays as well as the Colossus. And we have 30 Marines. GuMiho has a massive supply lead. Hallucination does confirm. Again, this army looking a little bit vulnerable for herO. There's a Colossus, yes, but that's what the Vikings are for. The turrets are being thrown down. GuMiho slowly pushing forward. Gets a lit. Gets a lip. Gets a Void Ray. Gets 1. Second Void Ray as well. Now we're going for the Colossus. We dive on top of the Prism, goes down, and everything on the ground as well. herO, his entire army melts before GuMiho. And GuMiho is snowballing out of control. He's got double the army supply. Third base just now getting up and running for herO, but it's too little too late. And GuMiho, he will pull this off. GG gets called. The 2-base all-in does pay off, and GuMiho takes game number 1. Whew. GG. That was wild. That was a wild game again. herO, he barely survived, barely held on, but he just could not. He was not able to keep up with the economy of GuMiho. GuMiho had an even worker count plus mules. He was able to build up towards the additional Vikings, additional tanks. herO unable to keep up. GG. GG, well played. Whew. As we head towards game number 2, as we continue our finals. Now, that was only game 2. I would expect this to go back and forth, and I know that GuMiho is hyper-aggressive and he's very creative with his playstyle. In saying so, I don't think we're going to see that build again. That's the thing. GuMiho, I'm sure he has something different and special planned for every game. For every game in this series. I'm here for it. I am here for it. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our red Protoss player representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming, down in this series but not out, not by any means, not yet. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player representing Team Na'Vi, leading the series 1-0. It is GuMiho. Here we go. As GuMiho going to be starting or continuing things off with a bit of a bang here. We have a proxy Rax on the way, because of course we do. it's GuMiho. Of course we do. We have the Rax in production here. It is being proxied. Now it's only going to be a singular Rax. I'm curious if this is going to be proxy Marauder with a tech lab, or if we do commit and we just go for a Reaper opener. Just a singular Reaper instead. We'll see what we have in store for us. I'm imagining Marauder, but we'll see if we go for the tech lab or just Reaper. As herO, he's just opening up back at home. Getting into the swing of things. Based on the rally, it should be a Reaper, and the completion of this Rax, we do have confirmation. Reaper is on the way. Now, this is a very light, aggression here from GuMiho. It's only a single Rax, only one Reaper. This is designed to throw down a bunker behind the mineral line. SV comes in, but there's a pro patrolling, and the bunker cannot be thrown down. Just a way to get ahead economically. Just a way to get ahead. There we go, Reaper's on the way, Rax floating back home, and we are transitioning here with a double gas opener, transitioning into factory. Meanwhile, Reaper does dip into the main. Huh. Does dive in, looking for a probe kill, is gonna get one. Ooh, just barely. We get surrounded. No shot, not worth it as GuMiho loses. He trades a Reaper for a probe. Not like this, and the Rax, it's up in the air, it's floating back home, no production. This opener was not worth it. A rough start there for GuMiho as the opener kind of falls on its face. It's rough start. Behind this, we're getting into our Cyclone, but really GuMiho, he has set himself behind. His CC is delayed. We're getting to a 1-1-1. Again, no additional Rax production. We don't even have the Reaper to scout. The Reaper is not alive to be able to confirm whether or not it's even a Twilight Council. We don't know. It could be a Stargate opener, could be a Twilight Council, could be a Robo, could be anything. Not like this. Also, my bad. God, I've been introducing him as Na'Vi this entire time. Cloud9, Papi, Cloud9. Of course, Spirit is Na'Vi. Like all the All these Terran players, they all look the same. Ay. My apologies. Thank you. Shout out to Kashim though. Thank you so much. My apologies. On Cloud9, of course, not Navi. Ooh. As Hallucination Scout does confirm it's not a one-base all-in, does confirm the 2-on-1 opener here, or the 2-on-1 follow-up of GuMiho, as we need to get damage done. There's so much pressure on GuMiho. We're going for a Mind Drop, coinciding here with some Liberator aggression as well. Libs and Mines are moving out, and we'll see if herO can keep up. Mine outside that natural. Stalkers are in position. We do deny the drop. Oh my god. Getting so many volleys off on that medevac. At the same time, Widowmine tries to waddle in as well. Up. Slipping in towards the natural. Mine's just going to be going off. Ooh, takes down a Stalker. Not bad. Stalker goes down. Medevac does survive. Does escape. And we at least save one of those Widow Mines as well. We confirm that it's going to be an economic follow-up. herO going for the Nexus. So 2-gate blink into that Nexus. Very economic follow-up here by herO. And we'll see how GuMiho can recover. We're rushing into Stim, really early tank production as well. We could be going for another 2-base push, which I'm not opposed to on Golden Aura, I'll be honest. I'm not opposed to it. Could work quite well. Scan trying to get eyes on the Observer. Speaking of Observer, not quite out on the field. It's actually back at home to defend. As Hallucination is coming in for a scout. The push has been avoided, by the way. GuMiho, he's kept this push hidden from any kind of scouts, from any kind of detection. Stim is seconds away. herO back at home. Are we ready for this? We're teching up, working towards charge, +1, Colossus production, additional gateways. And here we go, GuMiho, he does siege up within range of the production. Can the Colossus pop out? It's halfway done. The gateway is gonna fall. Drop into the main. Boys are being pulled as well away from that Liberator. We do pick off one gateway. We're gonna get the other. Oh my god. Yeah, Stalker's gonna be going down. The gateways as well. But I believe the Colossus will spawn in. The Colossus has arrived. Without the Cybercore, of course, we cannot warp in any more Stalkers. Charge about to finish. GuMiho edging ever closer here. If he was a little bit more ambitious, we could have maybe gone within range of the Robo. As we are now. But again, herO just needs a little bit more time. Second Colossus in production. It's coming. It's on the way. And GuMiho is expanding behind this. Third CC is thrown down. Yeah, and the overcharge will keep this Robo alive. Second Colossus does pop out. herO should be able to hold as he collapses on the army. Comes in for a surround. Comes in from both angles here, and the tanks are being focused. He gets one, he gets two. He gets only 2 tanks. The gateway army just barely wasn't enough. And GuMiho may just have too much here. Drops into the main base, distracting the army, forces a warp into the main. And GuMiho pulls back. Very mature decision. Very mature here. He does pull back. Doesn't overextend. Now, what's scary here is that this entire time herO has been mining. He didn't lose any probes. He has been mining freely on 3 bases. He's building up towards Immortals. Extend the Malance, +2. More gateways. herO, he's holding his own. Meanwhile, GuMiho is taking his third. And with this, he's going to be catching up economically, taking a lead even. The onus is now on herO to take a fourth. But stuck on 3 bases for the time being. There we go. Fourth is now on the way. As GuMiho does land his third. I almost called him Spirit. The Terran player on Navi, obviously. God, I was casting GuMiho earlier. Ah, Smurge. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As a hero behind this, he's just building up more Colossi, working towards a Dark Shrine even. Okay. Interesting. Interesting choice here from herO. Opting to go for the DTs, the Invisible Man. I mean, that is a good way to come back in this game. I would give the edge to GuMiho at the moment. I mean, we have Colossi, so herO isn't really in any danger of dying, but... I mean, as I say that, that's a lot of tanks. I guess the scary thing is that we did preserve so many. We preserved a lot of tanks. And how many do we have? 6. 6 tanks in total. We are pushing. Now the Colossi do meet up though. Big swipes. 4 Colossi. Oh my god. 5 Colossus? herO. We're getting up towards 5 Colossi here. My god. That's a bit much. That's a lot of overkill. It's a lot of overkill here. And here we go. We do dive on 4. The Colossi having their way with the Marines. GuMiho not respecting them. He does get 1. But GuMiho, he lost so many Marines there. A moving forward. Yeah, we can collapse on this. And herO, he's going to completely shut this down. The tanks are exposed. Not enough Marines to help defend. And GG gets called. And herO, he ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. GuMiho, he had potential. He had potential with his push. But again, he did fight out of range of his tanks. And he lost so many Marines at the start of the fight. Lost so much to those Colossi. And with that, herO snowballs out of control with his mass Colossus army. Does tie the series 1-1. We have a back and forth. We have a series. We do have a series here. Let's go. That's all I ever ask for. From here, we are getting ready for game number 3. Gonna be on, ooh, Alcyone. Alcyone is gonna be game 3. How will the story continue? Where will you take us? Let's go. Again, just hyper-aggression from everyone involved. It was a rough start for GuMiho, if you remember, with the failed proxy racks. Into a devastating push, which almost did kill herO. I do think we could have been a little bit more assertive. I do think we could have gone within range of the robo initially. I do think that GuMiho was just being a little bit too conservative with his push. And didn't achieve as much as it otherwise could have. But here we go. We're getting into game 3 to determine who takes a lead in this series. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the red Protoss player representing DragonKy Gaming, DKZ. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Cloud9, not Na'Vi. Again, I apologize for saying the wrong team the entire tournament. I do apologize. Representing Cloud9, it is GuMiho. I did confuse him with Spirit. Look, all these new teams joining, it's confusing. It's too much. Not just all the new teams, but there's a lot of team swaps recently as well. Like, there's a lot of teams like joining and leaving Platinum Heroes, a lot of teams joining and leaving other teams as well. It's quite a bit to keep up with, but I'll do my best. I will do my best. As we do settle on in. And GuMiho opening up double gas. Interesting. An aggressive opener here out of GuMiho. With double gas, as we did mention before, leads into faster factory production, faster cyclone potential, even a cyclone drop opener. Would make sense. Meanwhile, we do see heroes scouting, looking for proxy racks. I understand completely after game number 2. herO is checking his corners, making sure there's no hidden SCV. making sure everything's as it should be. And there's that factory on the way that we did mention previously. Here we go. Also, as a reminder, as we're getting into our openers, it's going to be a gate expand from herO, gate cyber expand even, is that we should be casting ESL Open Cup Europe here. I believe it's going to be for the third, maybe fourth time. We don't often cast ESL Open Cup Europe, but it is now at a decent time slot for us, so we'll be casting that in a couple of hours. It does mean that we'll be missing out on Americas, so there's a give and take. We usually cast Americas, now we won't. We usually don't cast ESL Europe, now we will. So a bit of a give and take, as I did mention. Reaper does pot, does pop. Probe goes down alongside the eventual pylon as it gets thrown down to get an eye on what comes next, and we'll delay the Reaper. We'll keep it busy here across the map while herO does probe up and does get into his tech of choice. It is not going to be a Twilight Council, going to be a Stargate opener out of herO. Now, if this was any other Protoss, I'd say Stargate for Phoenixes, but herO has shown us that he is willing to be aggressive with Oracles, and there it is. It's going to be an Oracle opener from our Protoss player. Something not too common, I'll be honest. Much more common specifically with herO. Meanwhile, Cyclone production well underway. We throw down a second Rax before Starport, so very aggressive follow-up here. GuMiho is building up an abundance of Marines. Very aggressive build from the Terran, delaying the Starport, delaying the Metamax. Meanwhile, the Reaper did dip in and did get eyes on the Starport. Sorry, Stargate. GuMiho, he is aware. Does see. And he's getting in position for those Oracles. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, never fool me again. As GuMiho, last time, of course, that we saw the Oracles, they were wreaking havoc. They were killing so many SCVs. And GuMiho is getting in position for said Oracles. Ooh. Reaper is shut down. Oracle threatens the main, threatens the natural. Cyclone's in position. Nice lock on the Oracle as we do shave off the shields. But not much else. Not much else. Stim is on the way. Ooh, pretty interesting actually. So we don't go for the add-on swap. We don't go for a faster tank production. We do prioritize Stim instead. Delaying tanks. Makes sense. So you don't really need tanks early on defensively unless you're going for an all-in or unless you're up against a Blink build. But it isn't Blink. It was a Stargate opener. Into delayed Blink, don't get me wrong. We are working eventually towards Blink Stalkers, but not anytime soon. As a result, GuMiho can afford to delay tank production, as tanks are only just now starting up. Meanwhile, across the map, herO goes straight for the third CC, or third Nexus. Third base is on the way. Is going to be on the way here, and meanwhile, the onus is going to be on GuMiho to push out. Again, with fast stim, that means fast drop play. It means to be active on the map and be quite proactive as well. As we are just waiting for the eventual Metavax. Liberators on the way. We're actually going to be pushing out, there we go, with our Metavax as well. Do you have herO just taking up, working towards his forge, upgrades, saturating his third base, working towards charge, building up. When it comes to his vision, unfortunately, he has none. Unfortunately, herO, he has control of the Zolnaga, but not much else. He did not open up Robo, or doesn't have a Robo, period, so he has no observer, no vision, and GuMiho, he does skirt around the edge of the map, unscouted. Hallucination comes in, gets eyes on the third CC, so he knows that it's not a two-base all-in. Is aware of that at least, and here we go, we do stim in forward. We stim into the natural base, the army out of position, the Oracle goes down, the boys are being pulled. Tank does get targeted, but we ignore the army, we just dive straight into the main base. Oh my god, it's going to be a one-way trip, there's no way out of this. We got 12 probes, good target firing here out of GuMiho. 15 probes go down. And I would say that this is pretty well worth it. Oh, as the medevac does escape. Massive pick off here. 15 dead workers. Did I say 15? I meant to say 16 as one more probe goes down towards the end. And the Liberator is still... I was going to say is still alive. No longer. As it is focused down. But regardless, 16 workers for how much? What was the trade? 16 pros for 10 Marines. And the tank... losing the tank was less than ideal. That's true. Losing the tank was brutal. But regardless, good damage is dealt. And GuMiho, he does even up the worker count. Plus mules means that GuMiho is ahead. On top of that, third base is about to be taken here with triple mule production and triple SCV production as well. So GuMiho, he does take quite an economic lead. That is soon to be reflected in the army size. And the size of the supply. herO, meanwhile, going to be threatening some adepts. Threatening a shade. Adepts are getting ready. Adepts are getting ready to dive in, but we are in position. GuMiho, he has an army controlling the Zelnaga, of course, but he has reinforcements back at home. Boys are being pulled, though. SCVs are going down. 4 workers in total. 4 workers for 4 adepts. Better trade for GuMiho. Ideally, the Protoss doesn't want to trade 1 for 1. Would like to trade a little bit better than that. Second Robo is on the way. We still do not have any splash damage. Colossi will soon be on the horizon, but until then, GuMiho is pushing. GuMiho, he's up 20 supply. He's up in army supply. And he can push through. At the same time, herO going for a wraparound. Zealots are getting set up to come in from behind. GuMiho rotating around. Looking for another way in. Zealots actually go for a big counterattack. Winter Mines are going to be going off. And we have reinforcements back at home as well. At the same time, GuMiho, he dives into the third. And Shield Battery is going to be targeted. Oh, not quite. Does put in a lot of work, actually. Yeah, big Shield Battery, big overcharge, preserves everything, but the mines! The mines go for the Stalkers, and every Stalker goes down. Not a good trade for herO. And we're not done. We drop into the main. Overcharge is on cooldown. GuMiho just rallying towards that third base. Reinforcements are on the way, and herO, he's in a lot of trouble. Again, he lost so many workers earlier, and because of that economic deficit, herO has never recovered. A big Colossus swipes going off. I think we can hold. Yeah, herO, he does barely hold on. GuMiho overextends. He loses far too much here in that choke point. Once again, not respecting the Colossus. And herO is recovering. herO, he's been able to catch back up in probes. Still behind, but he needs a fourth base getting up and running. Colossi are out, so making Colossus and Disruptors at the same time as well. Scan does reveal the fourth. Oh, and GuMiho now knows the pressure is on. Just now working on his own fourth base. I would still give GuMiho the edge overall, but he doesn't have as much of a lead as he once did. As we go for a massive Dune Drop into the main base. And we do force a recall. But there's plenty to defend. The big mine shot's going to be going off. Very efficient trades. That's GuMiho. He's going for that Stalker. Yeah, there is no escape. He does rotate over towards the third base. We do get a weapon of Zealots. And the Zealots will force this back eventually. Oh, brutal choke point here. GuMiho trading so well. Cleans up all the Zealots, does make it out of there. Does make it out. And behind this is working in his own fourth. We have +1 ship weapons, making 3 ghosts at a time. Vikings as well. GuMiho is just getting into the mid game quite freely into Viking Ghost. Meanwhile, herO is keeping up. He's keeping up with his own robo production. Is moving out. Ooh, does he smell blood in the water? Has GuMiho lost too much? Nova does connect. Yeah, herO forcing his way up the ramp. Nova takes down some of those marauders. And there may just not be enough here on the ground. Oh, Nova into the mineral line. 8 SCVs go down. Vikings, they have arrived. herO pulling back for a moment. Does pull back. And massive Nova's gonna be going off. Big connections. Oh my god. herO is taking a massive fight here. Big connections on the army. Colossi are gonna go down, but what about the ground army? What about the Protoss on the ground? Because the Chargers, they're breaking through. The Zealots, the Stalkers, the Vikings, they do nothing. They have to land, and even if they do land, there's just not enough on the ground to support. The Novas, they connect with the Vikings, with the SCVs. GG gets called, and herO, he breaks through, and he takes game number 3. He takes a 2-1 lead in the grand finals. GG. Again, GuMiho had momentum. He had things swinging in his favor. But he had some rough fights. He had a couple of rough trades where GuMiho did overextend. 100%. He did overextend, did push a little bit too hard into the third. He didn't know that there was a fourth. That was a big moment as well, if you remember, when he was forced back, when he scanned, when he saw the fourth base after his failed push. Like the initial dive that killed 15 probes, I did like it. I did like the dive, but outside of that, there were some rough moments for GuMiho, and herO was able to recover. Able to get away with more Colossi, more Disruptors, a robust army, and GG. GG, well played. Before GuMiho could stabilize on Ghost Lib, on Ghost Viking Lib, herO was able to just take advantage of him, and just like that, herO is 1 game away. Una más! 1 more game is all he needs to win it all. As we make our way into game number 4. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Dragon Kai Z Gaming, DKZ. It is herO. Una más, 1 more game is all he needs to become this week's ESL Open Cup champion. Meanwhile, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Terran player, representing Cloud9. Oh, he has to win this game to force the ace match, to force the game 5. It is GuMiho. Now, personally, I would love a game 5. I'm greedy like that. I'm greedy. I want a game 5. I want us to go the distance, but it is not on me. The pressure is on the Terran. The pressure is on GuMiho. Can we bring this back? Can we pull this off? Let's go. Let us go as... Oh, herO. As we've already had GuMiho being aggressive and going for proxies, but this time it's going to be on herO instead. The pylon has been thrown down, and show us the gateways. Gateways are on the way. We have 1 gateway back at home. We have a gateway across the map. Now, this is not the most committed proxy. This is not the most aggressive, not the most all-in. This is just a way to apply pressure. Now, if GuMiho were to go for a Rax Expand, or even if with a double gas opener, if he goes for a CC on the low ground, the purpose of this build from herO is to punish that CC. It's to delay and force a cancel, and just set GuMiho behind economically. That's the goal. Now, thankfully for GuMiho, he's opening up double gas. He's opening up double gas, faster factory, into faster Hellions, cyclone production, army in general. despite that, he still may get his CC on the low ground, and if that's the case, we can still gain some value here. As we are, of course, loading into hard lead. There we go. First Zealot is moving out across the map. Zealot followed by Stalker, followed by Adept. Just one of everything. And there it is, CC on the low ground for GuMiho. Zealot has been revealed. That's a tell. That is going to be a tell here. It does distract that Reaper. Stalker has arrived. We focus on the SCV. Oh, ooh, when we do get a kill in the SCV, the CC is delayed. We actually push towards the natural, sorry, towards the main. There's not much to really get here. Cyclone is in production. We're trying to focus down the depot of all things. We are trying to focus down that depot. And can we break into the main? Can the Adepts get into the mineral line? This is a bold move. We're not going to force the cancel. We're going to force some lost mining time here. We get the Marines. Oh, Marines are going to be targeted down. Both of them do fall. SCVs are being pulled as well. So many workers going down. And the lock-on is broken. The Stalker somehow survives. One Adept gets into the main base, and this is becoming too much. 5 SCVs have fallen, and we are getting more damage done. As the Adept does shade out. We meet up with the rest of the army. Warp Gate still seconds away. CC still not completed, which means we can delay it for a second time. GuMiho does have to be careful. Yeah, we're diving on the Cyclone. GuMiho, he overextends, and the Cyclone, it does get picked off. Massive pick off there from herO. And he's going to get another Cyclone. It barely does survive. Nice lock on. Doesn't get the Adept. Does not get the Adept in the end. As we take down the second Cyclone. Oh, and we're snowballing out of control. herO, this is becoming far too much damage. Sure, the CC may finish. It's not going to finish. It's not going to complete. It's not going to be done. The Killer Instinct is just far too much, and herO snowballs out of control. GG gets called, and herO is going to be this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. GG. GG, well played. herO snowballing out of control. I was concerned that herO did leave that CC alone. I was concerned that he was going to be allowing GuMiho to stabilize, but no, herO, he was so quick to jump on top of those first two Marines. With the death of those first two Marines, there was very little to support the Cyclones, and GuMiho, he was caught out. He did overextend with his Cyclones. He lost the first one, and upon losing the first Cyclone, he lost everything else behind it. GG, well played. herO just snowballing out of control. Congratulations. Congratulations here to herO. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the in-game chat. GuMiho is saying that, oh my god, that defense is so brutal. I'm gonna practice. That's what he's saying to herO right now. He's saying, I say practice. He said he's gonna do some drills. He's gonna drill the defense every day. Oh my god. Every day. herO saying me too. Oh my god. The banter. GuMiho, he's saying, I'm so sad, I'm crying. Sorry, I'm Google translating every line of text. Google translating. GG, GG, well played. Again, both players just having a bit of a conversation. Talking about the game, talking about the final moments there. Really cool to see. Really cool to see. But yeah, congratulations here to herO for claiming his win, for becoming our champion. A big shout out to GuMiho though, because GuMiho had a deep run himself. You know, I don't want to take away from GuMiho. He may not have won tonight, but he was able to take down some big names. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back of yourselves as we switch our scenes over and catch up. herO, he took down Classic, Nice, and Dark to advance on and to win the entire tournament. Of course, herO did drop maps. He dropped a map to Nice, he dropped a map to Dark. It was not the easiest run for herO. He did stumble on the way, but he didn't make it in the end. And meanwhile, GuMiho, he took down Bjorn, Shin, and Mechanics. Oh, Mechanics more of an amateur player, but he took down Shin and Bjorn to make it to the finals. did falter in the end, but took down some big names. Some big names did fall at his feet. So very well done. A very solid performance there at a GuMiho. GG, well played. And I look forward to seeing everyone at IM. All the players, I mean. Like herO, GuMiho, Dark, Shin, Creator. They're all going to be traveling. They're all going to be traveling because later on, in a couple of days, in only a couple of days, we have IM Katowice. We have IM Katowice where the best of the best is going to be facing off, duking it out, and looking to claim that trophy, that IM Katowice championship. So, yeah, don't forget to mark your calendars and tune in. For those that are curious, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 days. 4 days full of StarCraft action are going to be had in Poland at IM Katowice. At IM. GuMiho's going to be there. Solar, Spirit, Hero Marine, Clem, Cure, Bunny, Bjorn, Dark, herO, anyone who's anyone is going to be a part of the event. The best of the best will be facing off. So look forward to it. Do look forward to it. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. We do appreciate the support. And we are done for now, but we are not done for the day. As I mentioned before, to quickly reiterate, I'm currently on a different setup. A lot of people were asking like, yo, Papi, what's going on? What's happening with the cams? Why are you so happy? Oh, well, I'm not at my home setup. I'm not in Australia. For those who don't know, I'm based in Australia, in the land of Oz. And that's usually where I cast from. But I have been traveling. I got here to Poland a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago, I did arrive on the 31st or the 1st of February. A couple of days ago, I did arrive, and I have been setting things up here. I've been casting from Poland, and will be a part of. I mean, I say will. I will be there at IM Katowice. I won't be a part of the broadcast. I will not be a part of the casting or anything like that. But I'm gonna be there nonetheless, just because. I always did regret. I always did regret. Not going to Korea for Pro League, for example. Like I was a big fan of Pro League, big fan of Spot TV and a lot of their events. Korea versus the World, for example, the cross finals back in the day, back in 2014, 2015, 2016. I never got to see any of it. I've never been to an offline event. I've been to some LANs in Australia. That's true. I've been to like PAX, like casted PAX. I've been to BrizCraft. BrizCraft. I've been to a couple of LANs here and there in Australia, but I've never been to a big premiere event before, and I wanted to at least once in my life. Like StarCraft has been a big part of my life, a massive part of it. It's what I do for a living nowadays as well, and even before that, I was just a big fan, watching everything that I could. And yeah, I wanna be there for an IEM at one point. The other big thing, of course, when it comes to regrets, it wasn't just the Korean events that I never got to see. I never got to see BlizzCon, right? I was never at a BlizzCon, and BlizzCon isn't a thing anymore. Like the BlizzCon World Finals was always massive, right? Especially with like the transforming stage and all that stuff in the Americas. And again, never got to see any of that. Never got to see any of the IEMs. And now that we're in the twilight years of StarCraft, I wanted to at least be a part of an event, you know, while I can. So IM Katowice is going to be the one. A little bit unfortunate that the year that I'm going to IM is the year that it is not the World Finals, so there's a little bit less weight behind it. For those that are maybe a little bit less in the know, IM Katowice is no longer the World Finals for StarCraft. It is the World Finals is going to be at Gamers 8. Gamers 8 in, I think, July, like halfway through the year. Instead, that is going to be the World Finals. So it's a bit of a shame that the event that I'm going to is now a little bit less of it's a little bit not as high profile as it once was, but it's going to be a big event nonetheless, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm sure it's going to be a great event to be had, and if you happen to be going, then maybe we can meet up. Maybe we can meet up and hang out and you know, interact in some way. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there as a part of the crowd. We'll be there. So yeah, going to be some good fun. Otherwise, if you want some more cranky duckling action, we're not done. We're not done here for the night. We're going to be back in 5 hours. Sorry, in 4.5 hours. We're going to be live here on the channel with ESL Open Cup Europe. What up, papi? ESL Open Cup Europe is going to be starting up in 4.5 hours. and we're going to be live here on the channel. Again, now that I'm in Poland, I can actually cast this live. It does mean that I cannot cast America's live. That won't be happening, but at least I'll be here for Asia. I'm sorry, for Europe. So I will be live in a couple of hours with, of course, some European StarCraft action, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, to appreciate the support, as always. And with that, I guess I bid you adieu. Take this moment to, get some rest, get some food. I know I will. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to go have a shower and prepare myself for the cast later on tonight. The StarCraft doesn't end, baby, doesn't end. Oh. But with that, we're done. We're done for the night. And yeah, sorry, I was just catching up with the chat. Just catching up with the Twitch chat. With that, we are done for the night. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Bye. 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 We'll see you guys in 4.5 hours. Ciao.